Setting up a new shift pattern. Very often you can select an existing shift pattern and alter it. However, what I'd like to do is show you how to set one up from scratch. Double-click on the work pattern definition icon. Using the magnifying glass by the side of work pattern, select the add icon. We're going to call our shift pattern test. The shift type, as in with all your shift patterns, it's a flex time shift. And the start date. Now this needs to be from the beginning of the year. If, as in this instance, the first of the year starts on a Thursday, we're going to move it back to the previous Monday. So it will be the 29th of December. The reason for doing this is so that if you're booking holidays retrospectively, you will have a shift pattern to put them up against. Tab down until you get to repeating days, and repeating days will be 7. In other words, the shift pattern is repeating every week. Average day length in hours, in this particular case, as it's a part-time shift, we're going to choose 5 hours a day. On the right-hand side of the screen, we want to be able to see our work pattern on the screen. So we're going to show the shift from 6 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to have a time increment of 30 minutes. I'm going to save this, close it, and select it. Now that we've selected our shift pattern, we need to go to Change View Options. This is on the right-hand side of the screen. Click on there and change the date from the current date to the 29th of December 2008. Make sure the increment is at 30 minutes and select OK. Right mouse click on Monday and add day definition. Leave the date exactly as it is and put in the repeating days of 7. This effectively means that the pattern is the same every week. Band days refers to the number of days that the shift pattern is the same. So if somebody works 5 hours Monday and Tuesday but then works 7 hours on a Wednesday, then the band days would be 2. If somebody worked 7 hours 15 every day, then the band days would be 5. In this particular instance, we're going to select 2. The actual day length is 1, and the day length in hours is the number of hours that they must work for their flex balances to be correct. So if somebody has a contract to work 5 hours a day, then this will be 5 hours. If somebody is supposed to work 6 hours, then it would be 6 hours. Tab down, keep tabbing until you get to the top right of the right-hand side of the screen. Click on the magnifying glass and select the paid pay range. Because we're using flex, there's no rounding, so all we need to do now is save it. Right mouse click on the Monday again and add a work term. The earliest arrival. Now this will be dependent on your flex times. Very often it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and the normal start time is the time from which flex is accrued. So let's put 7:30. And the start of core time is the time that they must be on site. So let's say this is 10 o'clock. So to reiterate, they cannot come onto site before 7 o'clock. They can arrive between 7 and 7:30, but that time won't accumulate towards their flex balance. But between 7:30 and 10 o'clock it will. At 10 o'clock they must be on site. We're not setting up the lunch break on this screen, so we're now looking at the end of core time, and that's the earliest that they can go home. So in this instance, let's put it in 1500. The normal end time is 1800. This is the time that they can work and still accrue flex time, and the latest departure time is 1830. So again, they wouldn't get any time accrued for that last 30 minutes. It is a standard work term. If they breach core time, then it will only show up as an error. It won't report as an exception, so you won't have to physically deal with it. Assumed times used, in this instance there are no assumed times, so it's not applicable, and standard breaks apply. And if you save that, then you have your Monday and Tuesday set up. If you now right mouse click again, you can add your break. The earliest break time, let's say, is 12 o'clock. The latest break time is going to be 1400. The minimum break length is 30 minutes, and the maximum break length is 2 hours. So they can take up to 2 hours, but they must take at least 30 minutes. It is classed as a lunch break. Sorry, you can either click on this to alter it with the mouse, or as I've done, tab and then click on the down arrow to change it to lunch break. It's actually unpaid at least minimum time. It needs to say at least minimum time to ensure that 30 minutes are deducted in accordance with the time directives. And in your instance, we're not allowing any assumed clockings. So we save that, and your lunch breaks are booked. To set up the Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, you will do exactly the same as you have done for the Monday and Tuesday. So we right mouse click, add day definition. Tab down, and repeating days are 7. Band days in this instance make them 3. The actual day length is 1. The day length in hours is 7 hours and 15. Tab again, and then move on to the right hand side of the screen and select a paid code. Save that screen. Right mouse click again and add a work term. Again, you'll very often find these core times are the same, even though they have to work less hours. So 7 o'clock, 7:30, 10 o'clock, 1500, 1800 and 1830. We leave all the things at the bottom exactly as they were. Save that screen, and now we're going to add our breaks. Add break, earliest break time 12 o'clock, latest 1400, minimum amount of time for break 30 minutes, and the maximum amount of time 2 hours. It is a lunch break. It is unpaid at least minimum time. And save that. That is literally how you set up a shift pattern. What you do need to bear in mind is in this instance, the core times, everything remains the same. The only difference is in the day definition, where the day length in hours is different. And that is the bit that affects the flex accrual. There's your first shift pattern.